Let's talk about how to do homework the EE way, as it were. So I've got here my engineering paper, and we'll start off by filling the 3 top sections. So I'll put my name over here, and I apologize for covering over everything with my left hand. So my name on my left, my class and assignment on the right, in the middle. Date at the end. Now the whole point of that is just to give all the information needed to identify who gets that grade and set it up. So let's get now to the important question. I've got a homework problem and I want to get full credit, or I've got an exam and I want to get as much credit as possible. So I've got a word problem, and the word problem says something along the lines of: you have 200 ohm resistors in series with a 5-volt power supply. What is the current that is flowing? So the first thing you have to do is you have to rewrite that word problem into the problem that you are actually solving, which is to say you have to put your interpretation on it. So what do we know? Well, we know that we're being asked to find the current, so we'll put that up at the top instead of at the bottom of the last bit in the question, so that it's clear what we're working on. Okay, in fact, I'll go and I'll label it I sub 0. Okay, I know that I've got 2 resistors, so I'll put those down, and I know that they're both 100 ohms. Okay, now I'm going to go and draw the schematic. And start throwing in component values. If I was doing a physics homework, this is where I would go and draw out the mechanics. You know, where is the ball thrown? What is the extent of the lever arm? And the thing is we tend to deal with physical things in this ward that we're doing the math for. So the more that we draw out that physical stuff, the clearer we are both to ourselves and to the teacher as to what is the problem that we're working on. Okay, and let's see, I'll put down V1 is equal to that. So over here I'm going to say V1 equal to 5 volts. Okay, so now I've done my most important thing. I have reinstated the problem in a way that explains what I thought I read. I might have screwed it up at this point, but if everything I do is right after this, I should get some partial credit, unless I've managed to really oversimplify the problem in my interpretation. Then you might not get that kind of stuff. So the next step I need to do is I need to write down the formulas that I'm going to use for this. So in this case, I know it's V is equal to I times R. Okay. And I will rework that to being I is equal to V over R. So now I've got my equations that I'm going to go. I've got my values that I'm going to be putting in. So what do I do now? Well, actually I'm going to go and just be a little bit more explicit. I'm going to say I0 is equal to V1 over R1 plus R2. Okay, because R1 plus R2 is the total resistance. And honestly, I can't tell you why this is I0 and that is V1. That's sloppy on my part. So now I'm going to go and start throwing in values. So I can say 5 volts, 5 volts, 100 plus 100, 5 over 200 is equal to 0.025 amps, or 25 milliamps. So that's what I consider to be a well done problem. I've explained up at the top what I thought the problem was that was being stated in a form that is more easy to calculate and explains my calculations. I showed my formulas that I was going to use, and then I substituted in my values and did the math, which in this case is very trivial. So that is what I'm suggesting you do as your strategy of presenting your homework for any of these STEM classes where you get this kind of a thing.